Team call September 2nd. Hello, fall and pumpkin spice launch. I'm super excited to have Kim as our guest speaker tonight. Kim, I hope you see some of us are sporting our bands in solidarity and support because we love you and we love legacy. Let's open it up for recognition, guys, before we get going.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I don't think I can stay still in my chair. I have two announcements. I want to take a minute and welcome my newest coach, Amy Zagay, who is on her first sisterhood call. She has been like, we all have that one friend who like is all thing health. Amy has been that friend for me for 10 years. So I'm so excited that she has jumped on and wanting to totally, have an impact on other women. But, my God, I'm so excited. I want to take a minute and officially congratulate tomorrow. I'm a day early, but congratulate my coach, Ashley, who is one of the trio of sisters that created One Life. She is going diamond tomorrow, and I am so excited. She has done it her way. She has stayed true to the way she wanted to do it, breaking all of the rules. And she did it her way. And I'm so proud of you, Ashley, for staying true to who you are through all of this. And I'm proud of you and your sisters and One Life. It's totally amazing.
So cool. Congrats, Ashley.
I have something. I did a little shout out today on the coach page, but I just want to say it again. Massive congrats and huge praise to Meredith for hitting SC20 last month. You guys, like, I don't know about the rest of you, but August was a really hard month for me. And she freaking slayed it. And she just like rocked our Team Cup team. And Meredith, I'm just so, so proud of you. So congrats.
I would love to welcome my newest coach, Shelby. I'm not sure if she's on the call. She's an Emerge nurse. She's working super hard in Halifax. So welcome. We are super pumped to have you. An incredible shout out to our team Limitless. I'm not sure where we are in ranks. I don't know where we are in points, and I don't even care because you girls are pure fire. It was so much fun working with you guys. So congrats. And tomorrow morning, my husband will wake up happy. Emerald.
Shout out to Nick Foley. Nick's been coaching for a bit now, and he has poured so much time into building his community, and he's really building his group's called Life of Cadence, and he's doing it his way, which is something that I definitely admire. And now that he has his community rolling, he's starting to build his team. He just got his first working coach, and he will be Emerald tomorrow. His working coach is his sister, and they are pumped to do this together. She's a busy mom and a nurse, and we just got off a call a couple minutes ago, and she seems great. So I'm really, really excited for you, Nick. And on behalf of my coach, Debbie, I want to give a huge shout out to Jocelyn, who is also going to be Emerald tomorrow. Way to go, Joss.
That's awesome, ladies. I have one. I wanted to shout out Rachel Lauer. This is her first sisterhood call, and she is coming in as an Emerald coach. Super impressed with this woman. She joined in as a coach and watched all the training in like 3 days and was like, all right, what are my goals? And I'm going to make them happen. So I'm super excited for you, Rachel. Like it's just the beginning. It's just the very beginning. So there's so much amazing stuff to come. So I can't wait to be on this journey with you. Erin, did you have any, or are we going to get going?
Yeah, I do. I just didn't want to interrupt. And I'm I'm so excited listening to everybody. Okay, I want to congratulate Ashley, who's going Emerald tomorrow. She's worked so hard over the summer, and I know she's super, super pumped about it. So congrats to Ashley, and a massive, massive congrats to Sophie, who's going to be going into One Star Qual tomorrow. I know she's worked so hard for this, and it was a huge goal of hers this year to get to NLC next year, and I am just so blown away by you and so excited for you and your team and everything you guys are doing. So massive congrats to you, Sophie. You earned this one.
So cool. Anybody else before we get going? All right. So, Kim, thank you so much for taking the time to come on our call. Every single woman on here looks up to you. I know that for a fact. I know they all follow your journey. They all are obsessed with your headbands, and they all really, really feel you when you speak and are impacted by your journey and your story and your strength and the path that you're paving for us. Like, I'm already crying. So we thought a Q&A would be really, really cool. I know that Kim can speak on any topic and inspire you guys with anything, but we really wanted to figure out how we could use Kim and her talents and really answer some of the things that you might be wondering how she runs her business. So we love some of the questions that we have put together from all the coaches that dropped them in the comments. I don't know if, Kim, you wanted to just open it up and say hi, and then we can jump into the questions.
Absolutely. Okay, first of all, there are 60 women on this freaking team call. First of all, just like, this makes me feel super emotional. You all blow me away every day. This team right here. I'm super emotional. Wow. I'm like gonna start to cry. It's interesting, it's like, I remember when I first started this business, and I remember it was really Jamie's thing. And if I'm honest with you, when I walked into this business 5 months in, it was my thing, but I hadn't found the women that helped me really understand what this looked like, if that makes sense. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Courtney was the first coach that made me realize what this actually was all about. And then I got to meet her sister, Erin, in Ottawa. And guys, Erin was like, oh no, I'm just here to support Courtney. No, this isn't for me. And in my head, I'm like, she's going to be so in. And I messaged Courtney. I'm like, Erin's going to do it. Not a chance in hell will Leslie ever do this. But Erin's going to be in. And Courtney said no. And I said yes. And I had a feeling about both of you. And here we are a few years later with one of the most successful teams on Crush Nation and growing. And that's a culmination of all of you. And that isn't just because of the leaders that you signed up with. That is because of you, because of the decision you made. Like, Erin's success is Erin's success. Courtney's success is Courtney's success. Jen, Sophie, Natasha, Chantel, all of you, like, this is what you decide to do with this business. Bottom line. And I think that's what's really powerful about being here tonight and reviewing some of the questions, as we walk into this. I was excited for tonight because, I think most of all, I hope the biggest thing you take away from me tonight is that I need you to understand that you have to roll with the way you want to build this business. Because you have so many powerful leaders on this team. It's super simple to, like, it's almost like looking at Beyonce, right? Like, I'm going to use this example. I love it. Shalene Johnson put it in this training, and I loved her analogy. She said, you think about all the people that want to be singer-songwriters, they look at Beyonce and they try to mimic Beyonce's life now, where she's lounging and flying on jets and blah, blah, blah. Guys, Beyonce didn't freaking start there. And you're all trying to start where people you admire are. You're not there. And that's okay. You get to be inspired and excited, but you have to drill down to your bottom level where you're starting and get so freaking inspired by yourself, and layer by layer by layer and brick by brick by brick. That's how you build this. That's it. Like, I don't watch anyone else's stories. I do to, like, cheer everyone on, but, like, not until after my stories are done, because I need to be Kim every day, just like you have to be you every day. And that's key. So I'm excited. I'm here for you guys. Like, I will stalk you all. I feel like I'm really good at tapping into the downline, and I like want to be a part of what you're building. So guys, if you have coaches that you want me to follow and love on, like I'm here for you, because this is us together. Like I'm going to plant myself in like every retreat you have. I'm coming. I need you to understand that. I don't care if I'm not even invited. I'm coming. I might sleep in one of your beds. Like I'm going to sleep, because I just want to be a part of what you're all creating, because it's beautiful and it's unique and it's yours. And that's something to be really damn proud of, and hold on to that and be proud to talk about that and cast that out. Because if you're not explaining what being a part of this team, your team, means to you versus the umbrella of what it is, you're going to get lost. So make sure you're realizing who you are in this part, who you are in this hood, and how you're going to build this business on your terms. Because otherwise, you'll get caught up, right? So make sure that you're being uniquely you, and you're showing up as that leader you are on this team, because the team needs this and you need this. And it's easy to go on the tailwinds and the coattails of everyone else. But if you're not carving your path, who will for you? Right? So let's dive in. Do you want to read me out some questions, or I can get them up because I know you sent me them? What do you want to do?
I'll read them out to you. Okay, so the first one is really about putting yourself out there. Joanne wrote, probably one of the hardest things for new coaches to overcome, getting over yourself, not caring about what people think. It's easy to say, oh, I just don't care. But in practice, it's very different and so much harder. What are some concrete, practical things you did, actions you took to go from disbeliever in the opportunity to powerhouse, badass, awesome, superstar?
Okay, I love this question. I just posted this on my Instagram tonight, that you're already ready for where you want to go. And it's kind of what I said just earlier. If you're not really clear on where you want to go in this, and you're not 100% bought into what you're providing, you will not show up in this business the right way. For the first 2 years of this business, I did not think I was qualified to talk about the coaching business opportunity. So I got really comfortable with the client perspective, and I got really comfortable with inviting clients. And I freaking love my challenge groups. Like I will like live in my challenge group. I'll organize the units. I still do, guys. Like I like have to pull myself out of the challenge groups. I love them so much because I have a background in rec and leisure. B, I have a passion for serving. C, I love innovation and bringing innovation and tools and resources to people's lives. So what you just heard me talk about was what I talk about in my stories. So of course people want to join that, right? They want to be a part of something you're so freaking confident in. In that same breath, what I find unbelievable is when I go in my stories and I talk about coaching, even for a second, people that hit my poll or send me a direct message blow my mind. Because I haven't asked them yet. And I'm talking about yesterday, guys, not like 2 years ago. I'm talking about yesterday. It blows my mind that they're like 100%, I want to get on that webinar tonight. What if I didn't ask them? What if I didn't get it in my own way and just put it out there? Because if you're not talking about the fact that you are a business owner, I'm already sweating. I have to take my clothes off. I'm getting so into this. If you're not talking about the fact that you are knowledgeable, you are a resource, you are a leader, you are a mentor, how do people know that? So one of the things in how just to kind of summarize the question, I started doing what I was good at, and then I started duplicating what other people were doing in my own way. I love the principle. I'm a personal development junkie. And I don't know whether this relates or resonates with any of you. And I know I can say this because I don't think she'll ever watch this, but my sister, I won't say who it is, she would like read a personal development book and then that's all she'd talk about. It was like her new thing. Like she now would become that author. And all the things she learned before was gone before her. It was so freaking annoying. I was like, you have a voice. Like you just were telling me yesterday how much you loved this and now you've just changed to this. Don't be like that. on your stories. Don't be like that in this business because you saw Erin killing it in her coach invite, right? So what you can do is you can straddle it. You can straddle what you love seeing from someone else. And what I mean by straddle, there's like a research around this. When you straddle a personal development or a technique you love, you straddle it. And what straddling means is you are firmly grounding their idea and you're firmly grounding your way of that idea, right? So straddle the idea with your spin and your voice. And that's what I did. So if I didn't feel comfortable in talking about necessarily what the coaching opportunity looked like, I would actually straddle potentially that we had a coaching business opportunity coming up and a sneak peek. And I would say, okay, this is what I love about this business from my perspective. I love community. I love this. I love that. So you, Joanne, you have to get really clear on what you love and why you love this business for you. And I want you to write it down. Like, I want you to write down all the things that are benefiting you from this business. From, I'm talking like dirty, crappy, shitty habits that you're healing, to the marriage and the relationship and how you parent, and so that you're not just keeping it like the pumpkin spice, stop it, Clemmy, the pumpkin spice you're drinking. Do you know what I mean? This is more than that. But if we don't explain that it's more than that, we get to be, I feel like we can be pretty surface. So in order for me to become the where I'm at now, recruiting anywhere from 15 to 30 women a month in this business opportunity, I had to lean into my client group. I had to lean into my own personal development, and I had to lean into understanding that there are women that are watching that I was not inviting because I was scared. And I needed to get over myself and stop being selfish and actually share it. And the way I shared it that made me feel safe was on my stories. And I invited them to click on a poll, or I also really love to say, ask me the questions, the Q&A box. And guys, I make up the questions. People don't ask me those questions. I make them up and then I answer them the way I love them, okay? Like, you know, some people do, like, but I really just make them up. I remember watching Jess Dukes and I was like, how are people asking her those questions? And I messaged her and she's like, I freaking wrote them. I was like, oh, of course you did. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I just messaged you and asked that. Like, and I was so thankful because they were so orchestrated to answer all of the objections, and it looked like someone else was asking them. So that's how I got confident. I would just talk on my own way. I would share a question and an answer that felt good to me from what someone asked me. I was just being legit. And I feel like that is something you need to remember, is that there's still someone out there that wants to know that answer. You just don't know it yet. So, and then the other thing I would say to dovetail that and to kind of wrap it up is to share other people's best practices. Be like, I was just, just listening to my upline speak about this. And what I love about, and my upline is the person I chose to partner with in this business, because she runs an incredible business and helping me to build the business that I want to build. Because guys, everyone needs mentors in this world. Everybody looks to someone else for expertise. There's no harm or shame in that. So by you actually connecting the fact that you are learning from someone else, you're showing that you're moldable, you're showing that you are learning, you're showing that you are a leader, and you're showing that you don't have to be perfect to do coaching. Because my God, I Google something every single day, and I make sure I tell people that, including my new coaches. Like, I show them on a video how I'm Googling the question they ask because I don't know. And that gives them peace. Because they're like, well, if you don't know it 5 years in, then I'm not failing as a new coach. So just the way in which you're really presenting yourself and the expectation you have on yourself of you not believing that you already are that badass learner, that's on you. You have to get over the perfectionism, because that's 2019 and we're in 2020. And I'm sorry, it's welcome to the new universe and new world where people want real, unfiltered, not curated, honest stuff. And if you can't do that, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you can show up as who you are unapologetically, you will have people that are showing up in your inbox every day asking how they can join you.
I love that. And I think honestly, it's hard to be vulnerable. When I look back at my very first stories, the first times I was talking to the camera, like I'm mortified. I wish that data was not there, but I had to start. And people, even if in the back of their mind, they're like, oh my God, what's she doing? They're so glued to the screen at you being vulnerable. And it really, like, I love what you're saying. What I take from it is you just need to do, right? You need to start doing these things and leaning deeper into your journey, into this business in order for it to feel more authentic and for you to come across more confident. Okay, next question. What do you think inspires your challengers the most and your coaches the most?
Oh, okay. I'll talk about challenges clients the most. So I think that my most engaged conversations are when I go live in my challenge group and I just share my truth. Like, I'm going to start eating like an adult, or my water, I'm doing pretty good today, but my water's still at 9 at like 7 o'clock. And they're like, oh, she's a human. So one of the things that inspires my clients the most is them knowing that I'm along in my journey still with them. And it's hard because a lot of the reasons why some of my clients didn't want to be coaches is they're like, I can't do what you do. I can't be perfect all the time. I can't show up all the time. I can't, like, and I tell them, I think there's no secrets here. Like, I have an auto scheduler that posts at 4:48. I'm not awake at 4:48. Oh, okay, cool. So the more I find I'm authentic showing up with my clients, and guys, to be honest, it's not even just about clients or coaches. The more authentic and vulnerable you are, you give permission to other women to do the same. When you're going through something that hurts, you're giving other people permission to show up as who they are. And, like what Jen just said, like when you're the most vulnerable, that's when you get the most engagement, because that's what people are looking for right now. The world is hurting. So the more you share the techniques and the support and the tools that you have to help you get through your day, that's what I find resonates the most with my clients. Now with my coaches, it's interesting because I question my judgment, or I question my leadership every day with my team. Am I doing enough? Am I showing up enough? Am I leading enough? Am I helping them enough? And here's what I want to share with you. You're not an employer. And every single time you doubt yourself, it's an employee employer mindset versus an empowerment leading mindset. And that's something that's really important that I learned, because I can't pull anyone along. I was on a team cup team. One of my coaches did not hit SC. And she wrote a note yesterday being like, I'm so sorry I let everyone down. I did not respond until tonight because I didn't have many words, if I'm honest with you. If that's hard. I love her. I honor her. I honor where people are at. But if you're not helping 3 people a month, I really want to know what you're actually doing and the conversations you're actually having. For real. And I'm not meaning that disrespectfully. It's just a real insightful thing to say, maybe you need to send your upline those messages. Maybe you're not explaining the solution enough. So, I believe that if you're hitting SC and you're working your business activity tracker and you're leaning in, you're actually doing the stuff. If you're not, there's a pattern there. Guys, I'm sorry, if you don't show up for 3 days in this business, you're 10 days behind. And that's not for everyone. And that's okay. But I never want to be 10 days behind. I refuse to be. And, people get shocked that I still message 50 to, I probably have between my Facebook, my Instagram, my emails, minimum 50 conversations a day, minimum 5 years times that. It's not shocking why I'm at the SC I'm at. Right? So, and I'm not saying that to brag at all. I just work so goddamn hard. And and it's just the truth. So I have to check and balance myself all the time to make sure I spend enough time with my kids and I spend enough time with my husband. Guys, I grew up in a totally effed environment. So I threw myself into work from age 13, 2 to 3 jobs. My whole work ethic is my work, and my productivity determines my worth. That's not a good place to live. So I just want to give you that context of sometimes when you see some of my SC numbers or things like that, that's still stuff that I battle with to make sure that I'm balanced enough and having an enjoyable life. That's something that you have to figure out. But I also have conversations with my husband every day, and he said, you were the exact same way in your corporate world, but you were working for someone else. And you would work 19 hours a day for someone else. What's your choice? That's just who I am. So I think that's what it comes down to is I can't make my coaches work as hard as I can. I do. I want to. And I think you need to make a decision whether or not you're going to lead yourself or you're going to try to drag your coaches. Because if you're spending a lot of your time dragging your coaches, helping them sell challenge packs, you're not working your business. You're coddling, and it won't serve you. You have to really, truly build your business. So I don't know if that's helpful. It's a little bit of a truth bomb. I tend to be more bold on these calls than I do on Crush Nation calls, which is odd. So you guys are getting like the real truth, Kim. Josephine can testify to that. She's like, yep, there she is. There comes Kim. Here comes fire. But I want to tell you the truth because I think it's a disservice to not. And the last thing I want to say about your coaches, if you haven't casted your vision out for them, whether you're a brand new coach or you've been doing this for 3 months, or you've been doing this for 6 months, or you've been doing this for a year, or you've been doing this for 2 years. If you don't have a vision of where you can go in this business, you will set your sights pretty low. So if your goal is to become whether it's a Star Diamond coach, whether it's to build a big business, whether it's to really support and serve and help mortgage payment, whether it's to help pay off the kids' tuition, whether it's to pay off debt, you need to set some form of a set goal to really actually have something to work towards and share that with your team. Share that with the world. Because if you're not sharing your goal, how do people know that they have the opportunity to do that too? So I really implore you to do that. I didn't do that in the first 2 years. I didn't know. I was terrified to tell my team my goals. Terrified. I was like, who am I to say that I want something bigger? And then I asked myself, who am I not to say I want something bigger? Because if I'm going to work with women that don't want something bigger for me and for themselves, they're not my people. And I am not going to be investing in you nor dragging you, because I'll tell you, I spent hours with women that quit. And I didn't spend that with my family. So you better be damn sure who you're investing your time with and where you're investing your own time. Because if you're scrolling and saying it's not working for you, you're also wasting time with your family. So I would protect that. If you're going to work your business activity tracker, get a little time blocker, set it on your 5 minutes and do it. And you will feel like $1 million tomorrow. But if you're procrastinating off doing the business activity tracker or understanding where you need to build in your business, you're just going to feel frustrated and go in circles. But it's only because you're not taking action, and not taking action is procrastination, and procrastination induces anxiety. And anxiety induces the disbelief that you are capable to do this, which you are, but you're not taking action. And that's where you start.
I think one of the biggest things too, and it's such a simple answer, is that Kim treats this like $1 million business. And if you're saying that you can't hit Success Club, I would encourage you to think about how you're treating this business, because most likely it's a side hustle. Most likely you're sharing on Instagram for your own accountability, but not actually getting in your inbox to find women that need that as well. Yeah. Okay, Kim, the next one is sort of about trauma and excuses and life events. And someone asked, you know, when Jamie had his heart attack, and you guys obviously have been going through so many valleys, you know, just in your family because of it, and recovering and all that stuff. How did you find it in you to keep going, and how, you know, not just keep going, but you guys just both hit 2 massive, massive goals in your business during this really hard time. And I think, you know, like, yes, that hard time, but I see this so much with other women. I just had a coach quit because she broke up with her boyfriend. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know, like this, you could have dove deeper into this. So I know that this relates so much to other people in their personal struggles too.
I love that. Okay. So there's a couple of things I want to say. First of all, I hope you all, or you could read The Super Attractor by Gabrielle Bernstein. That is my number one recommendation. Okay, guys, I binge listened to Super Attractor for the last 2 weeks, like binge listened. And I wish I had listened to it 10 months ago. So couple things. Number one, when you're walking through trauma and hard stuff, especially with COVID, oh my gosh, like guys, even like the world, it's The Super Attractor by Gabrielle Bernstein. The world is in a trauma right now, a collective trauma, let alone what any one of us have gone through in our own life experiences, right? So one of the things that, there's 2 things that I want to say that really helped me. Number one, there's no such thing as a new normal. There's only better. So you need to want to be better than what your older normal was. Because if I'm honest with you, my old normal before the heart attack wasn't that great. Number 2 is giving yourself permission to feel. Because I don't know whether this resonates with any of you, but when I eat my feelings and I binge on stuff, like I've been super open with Courtney sometimes, so I'm like, oh my God, I'm just sabotaging the crap out of myself right now. Instead of judging that or thinking that I'm bad or I'm failing, I'm walking through a lot. So sometimes when you sit down and you actually write it all out and you journal, like I didn't like journaling. I did not like talking to people about what was really happening. But what I learned and what I observed through this when I was journaling is that, you know, I needed to cut out drinking personally. Like that wasn't serving me. I needed to cut out having sugar. I love it, but it wasn't serving me. I needed to cut out not working out because I was not working out either. And when I wasn't being a product of the product, so to speak, I know that's so cliche, but it's true. My business goes in the shitter every time I'm in the shitter, right? Like, and literally because I'm not eating well. So, and forgetting my Shakeology. So there are clues, right? So it's like, but I love my great friend, Dr. Sarah Sarkis says, everything is data. And if you can just look at things as data, like I'm a research brain. So when she told me that, I was like, oh my God, I swear, I'm not as effed up as I think I am. I'm just not being observant as to what I'm putting myself through. So I wasn't going to bed early enough. I was working till midnight. And then I would be trying to get up at 5 not understanding why I was in a brain fog. And like, so give yourself permission to like grab that 24-hour tracker, right? And start documenting your day. Like, okay, where am I wasting time? Don't judge yourself, but maybe you're tired at 3 o'clock and you start scrolling. Stop, go lie down for 10 minutes, do something different, jump up and down, and then do something different. Like you're going to need to figure this out on your own terms. But I want to share with you in trauma or in life experiences in a season that is ridiculous, like now, you have to figure out what your better looks like because your normal isn't normal right now. And you need to give yourself non-judgmental, non-shaming, really clear lens of like what's serving me and what's not. And just sit with it. Just sit with that. Don't judge yourself. Like, honestly, like I did not judge myself when I ate my own box of 6 donuts. I did not get out of bed for 2 days, and I could barely message anyone back. So I was really mad. It was like week 2 of MBF. I was like, who am I? What am I doing? And what I learned is that I hadn't eaten all day. So I was starving. So what I did instead is I turned my trusty little clocks back on, and now you can see that I know exactly when I'm eating. And if I don't have my alarms telling me when to eat, I don't eat. And when I don't eat, I eat like shit. So if you're not observant in your own life, how do you fix this? And then how do you share that with your clients? I shared this with my clients. This was the biggest post of engagement this week, because I got my shit together and I shared them how I had a solution. I didn't pretend I was doing a 2B mindset. I started getting to work, and I'm doing ultimate portion fix. So do what you say you're doing, or you'll have cognitive dissonance. Don't fake it. Your business won't work if you fake it. So stop faking it and just be you. So that's, I don't think I answered the question, but that's what I have to say.
It's the entire crutch and beauty of this business is that it forces you to restart. And I posted about this today, and I'm feeling this today. I've had a couple of people reach out to me and be like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm just honestly being authentic about not being okay, but resetting to get there and constantly being on the path. That's what this business is about. Yeah. What do you need to do? Who do you need to become to show up as the CEO in your own business? Yeah. And being authentic online and sharing consistently forces you to get there. Kim knew while she was eating her donut, she didn't have many days left of that shit because she had to show up, right? And I love that. That's my favorite thing about coaching, is who it's forcing me to show up as and who it's forcing me to become in the process. All right. Okay. I know the answer to this. This is black and white, but we'll see what you say. My husband is supportive as he sees my passion for this business, but can be quite questionable when it comes to the financial output for both of us being signed up as coaches, buying products, etc. Any tips on how I can keep him more on board with me or his mind at ease? As well, I know it's a long-term game, but kicking the self-doubt. I'd love to hear any advice. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. Just the hubby support financial thing.
Okay, so a couple things. I think that if you are spending more money than you're earning, there's a problem. Shouldn't be happening, first and foremost. It should drive you more. If it were me, it would drive me more to show the financial reward by serving and supporting more women, personally. So that's my answer for you. What I would actually be like, okay, so how many challenge packs did you sell last month? How many volume do you have? How many coaches do you have? Like, so, do you need to, are you hitting SC10? If you're not hitting SC10, you're not cycle bonus. Like, you're not so I know that maybe isn't the right answer, but I would question that. I would question why you have them active. So if you have them active because you're building a business and you're building a team, you shouldn't have that problem that you're outputting more than you're getting back, personally. I don't know if that's the right answer, but I would hazard a guess.
100%. Josh was more on board once I started making money.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't on board, but he didn't really care. He didn't see it as a legitimate business. He wasn't as bought in. And every single week, he is more and more bought in because my income is growing and growing and growing. I know the same is for Aaron's hubby, Matt. You want your husband to buy in? Start making more money. You want to make more money? Start having more conversations.
Yeah. And suspend his account if you're not doing that, because you're wasting your money.
Yep. It was said, I don't know, I think it was on one of your team calls, hobbies cost money. If you treat this like a hobby, it will cost you money.
Yeah.
Okay. Best practices. You are the connection queen. Best practices for connecting with random people on Instagram, building trust and turning them into a challenger or coach.
Oh my gosh, just be you. Like, I don't say fake stuff. So if I don't actually like the thing I'm going to tell that person, I don't say it. You know what I mean? So I engage in really authentic conversations. And the other thing is I show up every single day on social media, and I'm intentional. and I invite on my posts, and I invite in my stories, and I engage other women that are commenting on my posts, because I'm creating and cultivating a community that fosters that. So one of the things, talking about connection, think about this, and I'm actually going to do a little live in Crush Nation about this, because if you don't have savable posts, if you don't have shareable content, you're not doing a good enough job giving value. And what I would share, and that's not a negative thing, that's just an opportunity for you to be able to grow, which is cool. That's so fun. That's okay that you don't have savable posts. That's okay that you don't have shareable posts. But how cool is that you can start to realize, hey, maybe I'm talking more about myself than I am about the person I want to be talking to serve them. And when I go to connect with someone, I always think, how can I serve this person today? How can I leave her better than when I found her page? I know I can love her up, because I believe in empowering other women. And when you come to my page, you know I'm all about community. I'm about women empowerment, and I'm about really self-empowerment too. So when there's a connection between your messaging, your brand on your social media, your messaging, when they go to your page, of course they know you mean that, because you're there every day engaging. And the other thing is too, is ask for feedback back from your community constantly. You know, like I always ask a question at the end, which is why I have so much engagement on my posts. And then I make sure that I'm the last person that comments on all my posts, even if it takes me an hour. Like today, I personally caught up on my legacy page and on my own page for the last few posts, because I'm like, there's more people that have commented and I haven't commented back. And if you're going to do a post without engaging with the last people that commented, you're missing the most important people that are in your own backyard. And so often we're so busy trying to find more people that we don't actually serve the people that are with us already. We don't engage in them on our stories. We don't say, thank you for watching me. What keeps you coming back? I want to know why you're here. What can I do to serve you? What's your pain point? How are you feeling?
Do you ask that actual question? Why are you here?
Yeah.
I feel like that's so awkward. What do they say?
Why are you? No, I don't say, why are you here?
No,
I say, what keeps you coming back to my story? Thank you for supporting me. You know, like, what keeps you coming back? And they tell me, I love how real and raw you are. I love that you share a move. I love that I actually copy every breakfast meal you make. Oh, did you need more help with nutrition? I do. I'm failing miserably. Right. There's a reason why they're watching you, and they're going to tell you if you ask them. But we don't ask good questions. Rob Dial, the Mindset Mentor, has an amazing podcast. If you're not listening to him, I listen to him too. I like binge listen to him. And he's talked about asking better questions. So connections are better questions to yourself and to the people that you get to serve.
The next one really sort of ties into that, and it's more about your challengers. So I'd love to know how you manage and help continue to serve your challengers past their initial program and challenge group.
Yeah, so I have super high engagement, super high. Like almost like I'd say like 90% of my clients buy every single new program because we do it together. So that's why I've got such high numbers. That's why my volume's so big. That's why, because of my clients. I send a weekly email where I give like my heart out to them, you know, in like the first paragraph, and then I give them other stuff. Number 2, I run a book club and I get on that Zoom call every week with them. And they get access to me. Number 2, I'm on the Zoom call with them every morning and they know that they've got access to me. Number 4, I never disengage from my challenge group, ever, not once. I show up in that group. I post my little sweaty selfie in there. I do a live minimum 2 to 3 times a week of me. Even though there's other people co-leading it, I'm in there too. And it's important and it's important for me to have a leadership role in that group because they're my clients. And if they don't see me showing up, then how am I and who am I to ask them to do the running day program with me and not be able to run? You know, like how are you engaging with them? So that's what I find is really helping. So I try to make sure that they feel connected And I also connect with 8 to 10 clients a day in my messenger. So I literally just go through my Facebook group and I just connect with 8 to 10 clients. Voice note, messaging, if someone's posted it, like I have a pulse. I have a pulse on my clients, and I have a pulse on my coaches too. And I know when they go quiet. And all I say is, hey, checking in on your heart. Not, why didn't you hit SC last month? Hey, how are you as a human? Because sometimes people need to hear that, either as a client or as a coach.
I think one, and I don't know if this resonates with anybody else, but I can be a procrastinator. So I find if when I'm working in my pockets and my designated time to work this business, if I procrastinate, then, you know, usually I check into my challenge groups right after my workout and then again before bed. But if I procrastinate doing my actual business activities, then I find before bed, I'm struggling and I'm panicking to get those done. And I don't actually check back into my challenge group. And then I don't have a pulse, like Kim said, on what's going on in my challenge group. And then I'm not as confident in my invitation to join that challenge group. So I love what you're saying, Kim, staying in those activities of serving your challengers that join you and serving the women that say yes is so, so important. I also started connecting with my clients on a more regular and structured basis. And I using Teamsy, they call it relationship marketing. And it's been really, really effective, especially when it comes to new launches, because when you ask someone to join your next thing, you've actually been checking in on them 2, 3, 4 times since the last time you might have asked them to join a thing, right?
And the other thing I do too, guys, is I scroll as far back in my messenger on Facebook and as far back on my Instagram as possible. So I catch up with those new clients anyway, because I'm constantly going to the bottom of my messenger. Like I'm talking 4 weeks back, 5 weeks back, and it takes forever, but I do it. And then I go up, I'm like, I've checked in. Oh, I haven't checked in. So that's my pulse that I do. And I've got my Rise Up planner obviously too, and things like that. But yeah, it's busy, but it's worth it for sure.
Okay, and I know you have an important call at 9, so we're going to just power through a couple little quick mores. When times were tough, have you ever considered quitting? What motivated you to keep pushing?
100%. I wanted to quit in 2018 on November 2017. I did. I was ready to quit. I was like, I'm out of this speckled trout. This is awful. My team fell apart. I had someone ask me, why would I want to go to Elite with you? What's in it for me? And I had to call Arnaud and be like, I'm out. I won't be an Elite coach in 2018. And I just thought I was a shitty leader. And I didn't really know what I was doing. And that's not true. So my back slid down and I scratched it so hard on my handle of my, I'll never forget this. This is what made me realize that I was wrong. I slid down my kitchen sink and you know where the handles are, and my back slid down my thing and it scarred my back a little bit. And I had this reminder of that pain. And the pain was self-inflicted. It's not my fault that coaches don't want to build this business. It was my fault that I expected them that they would. So when I wanted to quit, that was my fault. That was my fear. That was my doubt. That was the liars. That was all the people that told me I'd never be successful at this. Those are all the people that make fun of me behind my back, and I really don't give 2 shits because I really don't. Like, you know, and they're usually unhappy people. And when I wanted to quit, I realized that I had to draw some new boundaries. And the boundaries I had to draw, I drew on a team call on January 5th, 2018. And I think Joe remembers this call. I can see her. And I said, and Joe was one of the first coaches that said, I'm in. I'm in with you. And I was like, okay, I have one. I'm screwed for the rest of them. I have one that's ready to go. And I rebuilt my team. And when I mean I rebuilt my team, Like, that's also when, like, I opened myself up to realize, like, I can't pull people along. I can't want this more than anyone else, but I can do my business activities. I can work hard in my own stuff, and I can show up every day because that's what you're modeling. And when I wanted to quit, I'm so glad I didn't. But when I wanted to quit, I went back to the messages that I had saved of the clients' lives I'd helped to change. And I went back to my own marriage. And now I go back to the day that I helped to save Jamie. Because if I didn't have this business and I didn't have my morning routine and I didn't have the strength, there's no way in hell I could have kept it together to do what I had to do. And that's my proof right there, is my alive husband and my kids that get to see me, and watching my team build businesses and being on this team. That's book of proof. So had I quit because there's a couple women that said this wasn't for them, that would have been the worst mistake of my entire life. And on the days where I think this is hard and I want to go back to working a corporate job, making $80,000 a year, working for someone else, I check myself. And every single day I whisper thank you, a minimum 50 times a day. So if you do not have gratitude for where you're at and how hard you're working, I need you to remember that you prayed for this day. You've asked for this. So stop complaining. When you ask for a mountain, you're going to get hills and valleys that are awful because you haven't proved you're ready to climb that mountain yet. You haven't proved you're ready to lead a team. You're not ready yet. So stop expecting this to be easy. It's not easy. This isn't supposed to be easy. Nothing's supposed to be easy. And that's okay. That's a beautiful thing. That's the beautiful part about this. It's not supposed to be easy. It is okay if you cry. It is okay if you question your leadership. It is okay if you question the women that you have working with you on your team. It is okay if you question yourself. I do it every day. And then I talk myself out of that because we're doing great things. Every single one of us are doing great things. And the more you talk about how great you're doing and the women that you served, and even if you connected with 5 women, you write that shit down and you're like, I did connect with 5 women today, and tomorrow I can do 10. And you have your own little pulses of how great you're doing. Because if you are not cheering yourself on in this process, you will sink and you will quit, because it is hard, and you will have everyone against you before you have everyone behind you.
Wow. Yep. I'll just share really quickly before our last question. I wanted to quit in October of 2018. And it was, I don't know if this is the truth, but this is what I think, that the main reason I didn't quit was because I was so embarrassed of how that would look to others, because I put myself out there so hard. And now what? I was going to be like, oh, just joking, I'm not doing that anymore. That's what held me on to this. I also think, I don't think there's another avenue, like a corporate world or an employee world, where I can reach my max potential. And that was in my gut. But the fear of judgment, even though I've worked through a lot of that, still played into that role, right? So, okay, we're going to end this on a positive note. Someone wants to know, what is next for you and what are you dreaming of? Where is this taking you?
Well, I set a pretty lofty goal to be a double 15-star diamond coach, superstar double. So that there's that. I have these boards right here that are going up on my wall tomorrow, and we're mapping this out. I think if top 10 happens organically for this team, I can't wait for that. But I'm not going to push and pull and prod. And that feels beautiful. And the other thing is that I want to help 20 women build 6- and 7-figure businesses. And that's my focus. And it feels really freaking cool. I love this business more than anything. And it also has allowed me to open another business that I'm super passionate about and build another my goal is to build another $2 million businesses, right? So, you know, I think the law of the lid is your willingness to grow, and I'm not stopping. This is just the beginning for me, and the beginning of so much for so many people. And I think, who am I to not cast out bigger dreams than I even realize I have in me? Because if I don't do that, then how will other women know that they can do that too? So I'm excited. It's just, the sky's the limit. And yeah, I'm going to keep on showing up, doing the thing. I got a new pod, a new diamond pod, and there's about 30 women in there that are ready to go. So we'll see where we go.
So incredible, Kim. Thank you so much. Erin, I wanted to see if you wanted to close us out, but Kim, I know you need to hop off.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time. I hope that you have an incredible call tonight, and we just love you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
I love you guys. I hope it was helpful, and message me anytime. I'm here. Like, I will voice note you all day long. So just like whatever you need from me, please ask. But I'm proud of you guys, and you're doing big things, and you guys should be really proud of that.
Love you, Kim.
Thanks, guys. I love you. See ya.
Goodbye. Erin, did you want to share at all? I just got to no, you're good. All right, guys. I hope that was of value to you. A big part of Erin and I's vision was born from Jamie and Kim. Erin followed, I didn't know what Beachbody coaching was before I started it, but Erin followed coaches for years before deciding to do this business. And she never considered actually doing it because those coaches she was following weren't her people and weren't relatable. And that coach is actually an elite coach. And I saw her in an event recently, and she's like, man, I'll always kick myself, because Erin was her client for years. But what she doesn't know is that Erin would have never joined her. We started because we were watching Jamie and Kim, and they showed us what was possible in a way that was relatable to us. And there's so much power on this team because we are all interwoven in some way. Whether you were a stranger from Instagram or you know somebody through somebody on this team, we've been connected because we're like-minded. And you joined someone here because you connected with them and you felt what they're doing resonates in your life, and you see the magic that it could provide to yours. So just loved having Kim on tonight. I hope that I know that August was a tough month for a lot of you. I'm going to post a leaderboard tomorrow. I'm so freaking proud of it. There are some brand new coaches at the very top of that board. And that to me is the magic of this business. We all start at zero. We all have the same opportunity every month. If you want to build a business, then you need to get in your inbox, and we are here for you every step of the way. We have a couple new things coming in the pipeline. Jen had a great idea that she's doing with one of her coaches to do a Zoom on Sunday and sort of post content to our communities together so we can share resources and really just like work smarter together. That really is the goal. So we will be dropping some info on that, but that's it for tonight, guys. I hope you all have a great night, and we will see you soon.